It's not very often this spot's as peaceful as this, and I'm sure it won't last. This isn't a main road or even a side road in Nottinghamshire. It's an attractive little spot, and this is the site of one of Nottinghamshire's former collieries. And if you were travelling down this road in that direction, chances are you would be going to its training centre, because on the left is the site of the former Bevercotes Colliery, and down the road was the old Lounge Hall, where when you were first being trained up for the coal board, apparently that's where you went. There's a good bit of pit top over on the left, but today I want to access up there, which is the old pit yard and the old car parks that's been left derelict. And it's quite a nice little spot, so I want to have a bit of a bash around there, so we're going for a wander. And this is part of it. This is one of the smaller car parks. I don't know, might have been for the top brass at the pit, but now it's secluded and surrounded by oaks, sallows and sycamores. So we've had some fun with the gravel that's been tipped there by looks on it. But we'll have a bash along here and head down in that direction and see if we can turn up something interesting. Well, it's been beating these oaks that are lining this side of the old car park. Found a few bits, lots of harvestmen, and then just found these. And these are the caterpillars of the buff tip moth. Only about a third grown, because buff tip caterpillars get to a size. Attractive caterpillars live gregariously, and the moth itself is also large. Feed on numerous plants. This obviously being oak, but I have recorded them on goat sallow and also hazel. So we'll leave these be, they're just sunbathing, and we're going through there. It's where it opens up more. This is the former entrance to the colliery, and all through here, all through there, more car parks. Huge car parking space here. Obviously, at one time, there's probably been well over 1,000 workers working at Bevercotes. Not anymore. And all of this area is tarmacked. All the buildings have gone. The old weighbridge is further over there. But I'm going to have a wander around here first. I want to have a bash on these magnificent Leylandii. See if we can turn anything up. There once a former and very busy colliery, and now this bit at least is deserted. Lots of private keep out no entry signs everywhere, but it is well used by dog walkers and the public, but not so much this bit. Most go on the grassy former pit tops. Personally, I like this bit. It has produced a few nice things. I think our first Cryptocephalus morii was from here, because there is lots of St John's wort that grows. There's quite a bit of valerian as well knocking around. Most of it past its best. So we'll continue away from where the car parks were. It then becomes where there's no tarmac. Habitat like this. Fabulous habitat. Yeah, I suppose it's your typical brownfield habitat. Increasing amounts of birch and sallow scrub. That's what you'd expect. But there's also an abundance of flowers. So hopefully, there is a common blue knocking around up here, just in front of me, which I don't think for a minute will allow a close inspection. Or will it? Well, it did. I dare say there'll be quite a few more knocking around in this. It's a fabulous bit of dry, stony habitat, which is presumably the results of the old buildings being knocked down, crushed, and then it's just spread out. There must be something here. Needless to say, it's a great little spot, and it's unusual. In Nottingham, I don't think there's another pit top site like this, or with an area like this. And this is for sale, I think, or up for development for industrial units. It's not too far from the A1, but no one's ever took it up, thankfully. And so it stayed like this. So now I think it's a bit at grubbing time. Having a look under these stones, see if there's anything other than ants underneath it. We shall see. In the meantime, I'll leave it with the view. Get quite a few small planes coming over here or around here, and that's because the Gamston Airport is only about a mile down the road. Brilliant places though, these. There's that human historical element of what used to be here and the activity that used to be here, and then you compare it with how it is now. Some might say it's very sad. I don't. Personally, I prefer it like this. Then I suppose I'm biased. A few warblers knocking about. Mostly chiff-chaffs. Now at the far end of the sort of hard standing area, and this was probably the last area that was laid, because this is tarmac. And a big area. And the weeds haven't taken this bit over. They have that bit just through there where that bit of scrub is. You can see where the growth is. But there's nothing in the way of weeds for most of this area. I'm going to have a walk down there and along that hedge. There used to be a bit of a pond at one time. I'll see if it's still there. There's signs of a recent event under here. These young queen ants starting new colonies. We've got Lassius niger there, those two in the cells, and then just here, these are the yellower abdomen. I think there's 3 queens in there, and they're Lassius flavus queens, all trying to start new colonies. Under this lot, only one will probably make it or stand any chance, because ultimately they will clash with each other. It's the most marvellous thing, nuptial flights of ants, how all the colonies of an area know when the conditions are right for mass flight. Sorry about the noise of the plane. But, and these young queens have got small clusters of eggs. And they're all, but it's interesting. I've got Lassius niger there, and there, and there, and there. All single. Lassius niger there, look, in the centre, and yet here we've got 3 Lassius flavus queens together. Now I've seen a number of those recently. They've got very little chance of forming a colony because underneath here it is just tarmac. And Lassius flavus is an underground dwelling species, which ain't going to do well on tarmac. It's what's left of the old weighbridge building, well, one of them by the looks of it. And the old weighbridge is here. Over the years, this weighbridge building has been knocked about a bit. When Dennis and I used to come here, it was a complete building. Someone's been playing with an hammer. And in the distance over there, that's where I walked from, and walked along this side. Not found much, but it is September now after all. There's not a multitude of things. I have turned up brassica bug. There's lots of harvestmen Ticranopalpus ramosus especially, and Paralogolopus agrestis beating off the trees. And there's a young family up there that's brought the kids to play on the bikes. Somewhere nice and safe, and we're going down that bit. Thought I might as well just have a look in, see what's left of it. Not a lot, but they obviously weren't happy with the decor. So they wanted French windows putting in by the looks of it. It certainly let a bit of light in. And what there is, as we walk through here into what's left of this, could do with a lick of paint, I suppose. Remnants of a wasp nest, look, on the top. Failed. Doesn't look, well, it obviously didn't get past the first worker stage. Miraculous little things. And so many don't get past that stage. Anyway, I thought about having a drink on the terrace here, but I will now start and go down there. Beautiful, isn't it? In its own way, I suppose. The purists might say, well, it's not a nature reserve, is it? Makes no difference whether it's a nature reserve or not. There are some good species here. There's been some good moths trapped here. Just hope it stays here for longer. And there's certainly been some construction work, but not construction work how you imagine it. Some ant construction under this old section of railway sleeper. Green woodpecker laughing away. They have been busy and still are. This is a nest of Lasius niger, the common garden black ant as it's called, and the workers are still busy carting things around. There's a little Bembidian beetle scurrying through. So there is construction going on here already. Some new development. But thankfully it's not man-made. There's a sign of late summer. And this red admiral has just flown from the other side, and the way out it flies suggests to me that it's only just hatched. In a week or so this will be going south. Incredible things. My favourite butterfly, as I might have mentioned before, if anyone's ever listened to this nonsense. We're due a good butterfly migration. Not see one here for all these trees. Here we are then. Back at the car. After a wander around there. Oh look, private land. Oh, I've been a naughty boy. Well, I'm not the only one. One day, when it's quieter, we'll have a wander on the old pit top itself. But today, it's like Mother's Meeting and Dog Walkers Central. And they're not sure up. Which I'm going to do now, because I'm going to go home, because I want some snaps.